One Piece succeeds where Cowboy Bebop failed. First of all, an incredible take. And to everyone in my chat and comments that are like, bro, do you actually take Critical Drinker seriously? Why not? He's an Australian man being angry at modern media. That's totally cool. He's not Australian? Well, he should be. Okay, like you think you're gonna convince me with facts? Cringe. Anyway, let's see. I'm sure he's gonna harp on like probably the greatest scene in One Piece where Kuina says to Zoro, no woman can beat a man. And he's gonna be like, oh, finally, a new episode of modern media that understands women. Okay, all right, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Let's see what he actually says.
So you don't need me to tell you that Netflix have a pretty spotty record when it comes to live-action adaptations of popular Japanese IP.
To be honest, Netflix does a pretty shitty record when it comes to anything.
I mean, who could forget the stunning non-success of Cowboy Bebop?
What about the scene where the lady said to Jet, you're black in the mail?
That was so heavily geared towards modern audiences.
Oh my god, why is he doing this already? Wait, was it?
That it ended up turning away its existing fan base, failed to attract a new one, and got unceremoniously cancelled after just one season.
Well, to be fair, the original Cowboy Bebop was only 25 episodes, unlike One Piece, which was 1,075 or something so far.
And it's a shame, really, because I was totally looking forward to more passive-aggressive rants from Daniela Pineda about how ungrateful the fans were for the privilege of being allowed to witness her glorious on-screen presence. Oh well, as Daniela 2.0 would say.
Oh god, dude, I don't know any of this drama. I don't know who Miss Panini is.
It's Hollywood, baby.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Bruh, imagine destroying someone so easily.
Anyway, then came the news that One Piece, which started out as a manga comic before exploding into an entire media franchise in Japan, was next in
and the whole world, by the way. One Piece is massive.
line for a live-action adaptation. And even worse, it was going to be made by literally the same production company that handled Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, sir.
Are you dumb or something?
Needless to say,
It was a different squad, but yeah.
everyone was braced for another disaster in the making. Just another.
Yo, it's always a great sign when One Piece started in 1999. I was so expecting the Kuina scene to be different with her and Zoro. I was like, there's no way Netflix is gonna release a thing where Kuina is having like an existential crisis about how women won't be as strong as men or something, like, which happens in the manga. And I thought that they were gonna for real change that. I thought she was gonna say to Zoro, Zoro, you have much more talent than I do. You will surpass me one day, and that'll be it. And they wouldn't actually get into any of the nitty gritty of it. When they actually said, I was like, who bamboozled Netflix into actually creating something good?
Their doomed attempt to bend and warp a distinctly Japanese product
Okay, did this man just steal an AMV for this footage? What is this footage?
into something that conforms to current-day Hollywood sensibilities, ultimately losing the very qualities that made it appealing in the
Bro definitely stole an AMV for this footage.
first place. But here's the funny thing, One Piece is actually really fucking good. I mean,
Whoa! He complimented something? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! I guess he hasn't ridden any spiders lately. This is crazy!
I'll be real here, it's completely bonkers and over-the-top ridiculous at
Well, yeah, but that's One Piece.
times. The characters look like they just stumbled in from a cosplay convention.
They do not, bro. The outfits are actually so good. If you look at every other live-action anime, they look like they came out of a cosplay convention.
And everything from the technology levels to the laws of physics themselves are treated like optional extras, but they're
This is a fantasy world. Who are you, MatPat, complaining about how the Grand Line is along the equator without knowing how the map works?
There's a beating heart of vibrant, colourful,
Yes.
adventurous, no
Adventurous,
fucks given
no
exuberance
fucks
at the core of One
exuberance.
Piece. This
Yeah, you just said a lot of good things. Just said a lot of good things. Let's go. Should have let him cook.
just impossible not to enjoy. I actually found myself eagerly awaiting each new episode because I was
Yo.
genuinely invested in the
Oh my god.
large cast of likeable
Bro, Buggy is such a king. This man is such a king. This guy over here, an actual god, an actual beautiful man, a man with a nose so handsome my grandfather would be jealous.
Characters, and excited to see where the crazy freewheeling plot took me next. Jesus, this is what TV used to be like. Anyway, the point here is that One Piece is basically a case study in how to adapt an anime to live action without losing the charm of the original, and I think there's a number of very important reasons why it succeeded, but I'll get into more of that shortly.
Ultimately, what the live action really needs to do is it needs to carry the spirit of the original. It doesn't need to be a one-to-one adaptation, because then it'll be garbage. It can't be one-to-one. It's not anime, it's a different medium. You need to change the medium to a different medium. We're watching a live action show. It's not an anime. It has different strengths and different weaknesses. So I think that they did such a great job adapting the spirit of One Piece into a live action setting. Yes, there are some scenes that I think are worse and some scenes that were missing, and there are also some scenes that I think were better and some scenes that were added. I think Sanji saying bye to Zeph is a scene that didn't happen in the manga. However, it is one of the greatest scenes of this entire live action, and I'm so glad it's been incorporated into the One Piece world to some degree. Like, that's just a stupid example, but we couldn't have like a tearful goodbye in the manga. That's not what the manga was all about at that point. But I so respect that addition. It is not the original. It is an adaptation. Adaptation, by definition, is adapting the original work into the medium that it is being shown as, a live-action one, which is different. I have nothing but respect for everyone that worked on this. I'm going to be doing like a whole big review type thing at some point, but Cliff's Notes, I think the original East Blue Saga was an 8 out of 10 saga, and I think that the One Piece live action is an 8 out of 10 show. So I do think they are equivalent, despite the fact that I think some scenes were missing and some scenes were better.
First, let's dive right into the plot summary. So One Piece takes place in a fictional world that's divided up into two massive oceans.
Oh god, MatPat creaming right now. Look at how it goes along the equator.
With a thin strip of land running between them, and it's run by a tyrannical one-world government known as the, world government.
Bro, it's not so bad. It's a Japanese name. You gotta forgive them. That's just the translation. No, don't do this. But also, yeah, why wouldn't they be called that?
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
It's just so real. It is not clickbaiting you. Let's go. One Piece being upfront, finally.
Fair enough, I guess. So anyone who doesn't submit to their rule is automatically branded a pirate.
Obviously, it is very authoritarian in many ways, but okay, whatever. I can't expect him to know that from just watching the live action.
Regardless of their privateering activities, and ruthlessly hunted down by the Marines.
No, they're pirates. They are pirates that are by definition destroying villages and stealing shit. Luffy's like a rare case that he's actually a good guy.
He kicks off with the capture of the most famous pirate of them all.
Bro, what a nice mustache. I would suck his mustache, not gonna lie.
Gold Roger, who reveals that he's hidden the ultimate treasure, the One Piece, somewhere out there in the ocean, ultimately kicking off a mad scramble to find it. Flash forward 20 years or so, and people are still out there hunting for the One Piece, including Monkey D. Luffy, a young wannabe pirate who intends to sail into...
He's not a wannabe pirate. He always was a pirate.
A treacherous patch of ocean known as the Grand Line, where he believes that the One Piece has been hidden. The only problem is he doesn't have a ship, or any idea where the One Piece...
or a crew, or any navigation skills, or any idea of how to go, or any way to make food, or you know...
it actually is, or even where the Grand Line can be found.
Not a great plan.
Yeah, in case you hadn't noticed, Luffy's not exactly big on planning ahead, but that's kind of what makes him so endearing.
Yes, sir. Luffy does not worry about consequences to his actions. He does what he wants to do, what he thinks is just. Consequences be damned!
He's the ultimate happy-go-lucky, fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants adventurer who just figures things out as he goes. Anyway, through his various misadventures, he eventually joins forces with Kobe, a timid cabin boy who dreams of becoming a marine so that he can protect the innocent, Nami, a thief and safecracker with a hidden agenda, Zoro,
and a navigator, I guess, you know, her actual job,
a mysterious swordsman that's sworn to hunt down rogue pirates, and Usopp, a sniper and inventor who dreams of becoming a great warrior one day. And together they set...
Bro didn't mention Sanji! He mentioned Kobe and he didn't mention Sanji? Wait a second, this is racism.
Set sail across the high seas to cross the Grand Line and find the ultimate treasure.
Bro, it's so true. You got my boy Luffy, the captain. Zoro, the first mate, Usopp, the sniper, Nami, the navigator, and Sanji, the waiter. The ultimate combo of people to brace the world and tear it asunder. It's such a cool cast.
Taking on monsters and rival pirate clans along the way, and always trying to stay one step ahead of the Navy and Marines that are hot on their tail.
Yeah.
It's your classic setup of taking a bunch of colourful misfits,
I love
rogues,
that face.
and weirdos, each with their own unique goals and
Yo! The Shanks. Mwah. The Shanks Mihawk scene at the end. Mwah. Glorious.
motivations, giving them a common objective and turning them loose to see what kind of chaos ensues. There's betrayals, rivalries, surprise revelations, and murky family histories that all come to the fore in the
And crazy mysteries, bro. Dude, it's so wild.
course of the story. And it works so well in One Piece because first and foremost, the characters are so fucking interesting and fun.
Dude, you know the beauty of this One Piece? Something totally insane that people aren't talking about enough, in my opinion. Normies watching One Piece get their absolute mind blown for something that he just said that every single one of us just completely passes off. You find the character so interesting. The normies are not used to the actual good quality of an anime backstory. That's right, I said it here first. One thing that anime has always completely surpassed Western media with is the glorious building of a fantastic backstory. Western media likes starting you from point one and moves forward through the numbers that I've used in this random metaphor. They start at the very, very beginning and they move forward. Anime always starts with a character that had some sort of traumatic event that shaped them until this point. When the normies saw the Sanji backstory, they lost their mind.
Such an eclectic mix of oddballs and mercenaries with wildly conflicting personalities that constantly spark off each other that you can't help enjoying it. But they all have deeper elements and motivations that slowly come out as you learn more about them.
Dude, that final scene of One Piece where they each basically say their dreams. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be the world's greatest swordsman. I'm gonna find the old blue. I'm gonna draw a map of the world. I'm gonna become a great warrior of the sea. When I saw that scene, I was like, oh my god, this is One Piece.
Ultimately causing you to question who's good and who's bad.
The answer is, no one's good, no one's bad. That's the beauty, the chaos.
But the show's definitely not afraid to have fun with its cast along the way. And it's so interesting to compare it to something like Cowboy Bebop,
This looks like cosplay, I'm not gonna lie.
which made a conscious effort to rein in its characters' personalities for Western audiences, trying to rewrite them as grounded and realistic, and it's one of the many reasons that show was about as much fun as a colonoscopy directed by James Cameron.
Oh no!
But
That was the weirdest edit I've seen in the history of time.
One Piece, on the other hand, is more than happy to go all in with over-the-top emotional reactions, heavily stylized dialogue and fight scenes, and interpersonal melodrama, because that's exactly how anime does it. The men are actually allowed to kick ass, make decisions, and hold their own, rather than existing purely to get outfought and outsmarted by their female counterparts at every opportunity.
Oh man, I knew he would go down this rabbit hole. I knew he was gonna go down the whole male characters actually kicking butt. Bro, mention the Kuina backstory. I know you want to.
Because again, that kind of shit just wouldn't fly in Japanese culture, so it doesn't even get attempted here. And by all accounts, we mostly have Ichiro Oda, the original manga's creator, to thank for that.
Well,
Oda
obviously.
was smart enough to retain creative control when he signed the rights over to Netflix, and actually forced the producers to rewrite and reshoot multiple key scenes when he decided he wasn't happy with
Oda's a god. Man's an actual legend.
them. Fucking good for you, Oda-san. If only The Witcher and Cowboy Bebop
It's Oda sensei to you, brother.
had this level of creative oversight, maybe they wouldn't have been steaming piles of shit, and we might be living in a very different entertainment landscape today.
Yeah.
I've also got to say, hats off to the production designers for the absolute insanity that they've brought to the screen here. The world of One
True.
Piece is the kind of place where people
Yeah, they did such a good job with making every single island and every little town look so different.
fight with swords and flintlock pistols, but also have international radio communications and portside taverns with neon signs above the bar.
Bro! Okay, so the neon signs, I thought of the same thing. However, the communications, he doesn't realize. When he sees the weird snail phones, I think he thinks it's a gimmick. Bro, the snails are actually telepathic creatures. They are creatures in the world of One Piece that humans manage to harness and utilize in order to communicate. It's not like it's intercommunications. It's telepathic snails, which makes so much more sense.
Some people dress like 18th century sailors, others like 1980s biker punk.
Oh, not the Arlong top hat. No, and they always play hip-hop music when he shows up on stream.
It makes absolutely no sense to someone like me who's coming into it blind, but then again, I get the impression that it's not really supposed to. Just like the oddball characters and the outlandish adventure at its core, every aspect of One Piece feels like you're stepping into a completely alien world driven entirely by escapist fun.
Bro literally threw a cannonball,
God
and Luffy bounced it
damn
back.
it. I'm pretty sure
this animation was
we
so
could all
janky. That was such a janky little animation right there.
There's a bit more of that in our entertainment these days. Ultimately, as much as I enjoyed One Piece, I can't say that this show is going to be for everyone. It's a Western adaptation for sure, but it's one that's retained its distinctly Japanese flavour, and if you're not into that kind of highly stylized, over-the-top method of storytelling, then you might be put off by some of the wilder elements of One Piece.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But for anyone else who's willing to be...
Well, One Piece ain't for everyone. It's great, don't get me wrong. It's my favorite manga, maybe. Maybe. I think after Berserk. Those are for sure the top two, but bro, it's just so goated. I love One Piece so much.
Be a bit more open-minded about their entertainment, or who just wants a wild ride of pure escapism.
That was such a good scene too, and Luffy's laughing and Garp sees him, and then Garp thinks of the Pirate King laughing, thinks of Roger laughing. Bro, that's such a powerful scene. And obviously that wasn't in the manga, but it was just really well done.
That wasn't written for modern audiences.
Bro has to stop doing that and showing this one poor guy.
I think you'll have an absolute blast with this show. And who knows, its success might just encourage Hollywood to rethink what Western audiences actually want to see.
I know what I want to see. I want to see more Buggy. I want Buggy in Alabasta, okay? I want the Buggy Basta arc to go wild. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not too late to get Buggy in Alabasta.
Anyway, that's all I've got.
I literally asked Matt Owens, the producer of the live-action One Piece, to put Buggy in Alabasta. And I will not tell you what his answer was. No, I will not.
Today, go away now.
That was a good video. It was a good show. Thank you for being here. It was Pog. Helmeppo is still probably the biggest glow-up in the history of fiction. Thank you for being here. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.